Once upon a time, in a small village surrounded by green fields and tall trees, there lived a young man. He was 25 years old, strong, healthy, and filled with big dreams. He often told his friends, "One day, I will become the richest farmer in this village. My fields will shine with golden crops, and people will come to me for advice." Everyone in the village admired his ambition. He spoke confidently about the future and painted beautiful pictures of the success he wanted to achieve. But there was one serious problem. The young man was extremely lazy. When the sun rose and other farmers headed to their fields, he remained asleep in his bed. While villagers worked under the hot sun, he sat comfortably in the shade, talking about his dreams instead of working toward them. Whenever there was water to carry, land to prepare, or work to be done, he would say, "I'll do it later."
He always had impressive plans, but he never took action. He loved imagining success, but he hated the hard work required to achieve it. One evening, his uncle, an old and wise farmer, came to visit him. The old man looked at the young man's field. The soil was rich and fertile, but nothing was growing there. He asked, "My son, why is your land still empty? You talk about golden harvests, but all I see is dry soil." The young man laughed and replied, "Don't worry, uncle. I'll start tomorrow. Just wait and see." The old farmer sighed deeply. He had heard that same tomorrow many times before. This time, he decided to teach the young man an unforgettable lesson. The uncle reached into his pocket and pulled out two small bags. Inside were two different kinds of magical seeds. Holding up the first seed, he said, "This is the seed of ambition. If you plant it and water it every day, it will grow into a magnificent tree that provides fruit, shade, and wealth." Then he showed the second seed. "This is the seed of laziness. If you plant it, it will grow very quickly, but it will spread weeds throughout your field and destroy everything in its path." The uncle placed both seeds into the young man's hands and said, "The future of your field and your life depends on which one you choose to care for." The young man immediately thought, "Of course I will grow the seed of ambition. I want success." But when morning arrived, he felt sleepy and tired. "I'll plant it tomorrow," he said. Tomorrow became another tomorrow. Days passed. Eventually, he casually threw both seeds into the ground and told himself he would take care of them later. Weeks went by. He forgot all about the seeds. Instead, he spent his days sleeping, gossiping, and dreaming about success. Then, one morning, he walked into his field and froze in shock. The seed of laziness had grown rapidly. Thick weeds covered the entire field. They choked the soil and spread in every direction. On the other side, the seed of ambition was weak, tiny, and nearly dead. It had received no water, no attention, no care. The young man's dream was slowly turning into a nightmare. At that moment, his uncle returned. Looking at the ruined field, the old farmer said, "Look carefully at your land. This field is your life. Ambition is like a seed. It needs daily care, effort, and hard work. Without them, it dies. Laziness is different. It grows on its own. It spreads quickly and destroys everything that stands in its way. Your laziness has already begun stealing your future." The young man fell to his knees. He gently touched the dying seed of ambition. For the first time, tears filled his eyes. At that moment, he understood something important. Dreams alone are never enough. Only actions keep dreams alive. That night, he could not sleep. He thought about all the wasted days, the lost opportunities, the promises he had made to himself but never kept. Finally, he whispered, "If I don't change now, laziness will control my life forever." The next morning, before sunrise, he woke up. For the first time in years, he started working without being told. He began pulling out the weeds with his own hands. The work was painful. His back ached. His hands bled. But he refused to stop. Day after day, he cleared the weeds. Day after day, he watered the seed of ambition. Day after day, he worked harder than ever before. Slowly, the weak seed became a healthy plant. The plant became a strong tree. And the tree eventually grew into something magnificent. It provided fruit, it provided shade, and it brought prosperity. Months later, the young man was no longer the same person. The villagers no longer knew him as a dreamer. They knew him as the farmer who defeated his laziness and transformed his life through discipline and hard work. And the lesson of his story spread throughout the village. Because this story is not really about farming. It is about all of us. Inside every person are two seeds, the seed of ambition and the seed of laziness. Ambition grows only when it is watered daily with effort, discipline, and action. Laziness grows by itself. If left unchecked, it slowly destroys dreams, opportunities, and potential. So if you are ambitious but often find yourself delaying your goals, remember the young man's field. Do not wait for tomorrow. Start today. Water your ambition. Pull out the weeds of laziness. Because the longer you wait, the weaker your dreams become, and the stronger your excuses grow. The moral of the story is, dreams become reality only when ambition is supported by action. Laziness destroys potential, but consistent effort creates success. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Whispers of Wisdom for more inspiring stories that can change the way you think and live. Thank you for watching.